This New York City school closure. Now, this has been all over the news. James Madison High School is closed down. They bust in thousands of illegal immigrants. They had nowhere to put them. They were overflowing. So they closed down a high school, took all the kids out of school, told them they're going to go back to remote learning so that these illegal immigrants have a place to stay. The American citizen is the third-rate citizen in the eyes of the liberal Democrats. Now, we know under COVID what the remote learning does to these kids. They don't care. They don't care about your kids. They don't care about the future of this country. The future of this country is what they're importing in because the Democrats need a permanent underclass. The great Rush Limbaugh used to always say that, and he was very right. The Democrats cannot survive without dividing us, without having a victim mentality that somebody else is perpetrating victimhood on somebody else. And they need they need somebody always reliant on the government teat. And all they're doing is importing millions and millions and millions of voters. There have been more encounters at the southern border under Biden than the last 3 presidents combined, and this year just started. Now, why are they doing that, you might ask? Oh, illegal immigrants, they're not supposed to be able to vote. You know, we have voter ID in a lot of states and things like that. Well, let me show you a fun little, should be a scary-ass graphic right here. This is, let's see. This is the birth rate in America. That top blue line, you can see it slowly going down some. That orange rate is the amount of encounters at the southern border alone between October 2011 and December 2023. If you notice, for the first time ever, more illegal immigrants are being encountered. That doesn't count the ones that aren't encountered. More illegal immigrants are coming into this country every month than citizens are being born. It's a fucking invasion. That's how you destroy America. China can't destroy America this much if they wanted to. It's about changing the makeup of the country. It's about changing the policies of the country and becoming one party rule. This is how they get to communism and socialism, through democracy, because they're going to have it voted in. Now, let me show you something else. These are the voter ID laws in this in this country, state by state. Now, you might say, oh, look, well, there's a lot of states. There's only, a third or so that are gray that have no ID required. But then you look at the light green and the dark green, non-strict photo ID and non-strict non-photo ID, which means if you show up and you don't have an ID, some of these aren't even photo IDs, by the way. It's like a utility bill. And if you can't even do that, you have to sign something that swears you're a citizen or whatever. Just sign your name and say, I promise I'm good. And you walk in and vote. The light purple is strict non-photo ID. So you have to have a utility bill or something like that. It doesn't have to have your picture on it, but it's got to have your name and address on it. So utility bill will work. You got 3 states with that. And for photo ID, a strict photo ID where there's no ifs, ands, or buts, that you have to have a government-issued photo ID to vote in, is 6 states out of 50. 6 states out of 50. Why do you think they're importing tens of millions? And I say importing intentionally. Tens of millions of new voters into this country. Now, a lot of places, New York, Vermont, California, they're passing laws to let illegal immigrants vote in their local elections, overriding the potential will of their actual citizens. But in these federal elections, most of the states, all but 6, don't have strict photo ID. If you add the other 3, that's only 9 that have strict form of ID, no ifs, ands, or buts must be required. 9 out of 50. That's not even freaking 10%. What the fuck are we doing? Well, it ain't us doing it. We know what the fuck they are doing. Okay? And going back to this story, let's see, I'm having audio issues, so I can't do the audio. But Adams, this is back in June 5th. Adams telling people these floating ideas of housing migrants in private residences. So now that they're overflown, taking over the schools, he's going to put them in people's houses, man. And if you listen to him, what he talks about in this clip is Airbnbs are not legal in Manhattan. And I don't know how far out spread that is. I know in Manhattan, it might just be New York City in general, Airbnbs are not illegal. So you have a lot of these second properties that are empty, extra bedrooms, things like that, that people would like to lease out and make some extra income on, but they have banned them in New York City. But in this clip, what he says is they have a $40-something billion program that they want to try to use to house these illegal immigrants in your homes, Now, they want to pay you to do it. But that's how big the problem is. They don't have any place putting them. They want to put them in your homes. If you think I'm telling a lie, here it is right here. 6 months ago, Massachusetts began asking residents to host illegals in their homes and properties. I can't play the clip because the audio is not working. We will have that straight by next stream. These liberals are just destroying the country intentionally, and they're doing it, and now they're putting them in your homes. They're coming for you. You will own nothing. We will all live in, there will be no more single houses, no more single family residents. We'll all live in the cities, and or they can keep a good eye on us and keep us under control with one party rule. This is how they get to it. This is how they do it. This is how last election, there were precincts where you had more votes than you had registered voters. That's a fact. How do you think it happens? This is how it happens. And this is why they are importing these votes. And I wish I could play you this story as well, this clip. But here's New York Congresswoman Clark saying the quiet part out loud. I need more people in my district for redistricting purposes. It's all a tool. It's all a power grab. All they care about is perpetual power, squashing resistance. American people be damned. Your children be damned. Your livelihood be damned. Your freedoms be damned. And first they're coming for that First Amendment. Thank God Elon bought Twitter. We finally have a place to have free speech reign supreme again. Speaking of Twitter, don't forget, hit us up at WYS Pod on Twitter, Instagram. We'll be on, this clip will be on Spotify and Apple Podcasts tomorrow. This has been a long time coming, y'all. We're going to hit these issues. We're not going to pull no punches. We're going to tell the truth, unapologetic and uncensored. And that's what you deserve. You don't deserve what the mainstream media gives you. You don't deserve what the other social media companies telling you what you can't say. You can say that Hunter Biden's laptop story, and they censored the third largest New York newspaper in the New York Post in the country right before the election. That's election interference. Said there, and now we know it's all true. Talking about the origins of COVID probably came out of Wuhan. You couldn't say that back then. Talking about all these antivirals and everything else that we know is true. They were shutting you down. They got to control your speech. They want to control what you can say and then eventually what you can think. And they want to control everything from reproduction. That's why why do you think they're doing, California just had a thing where they're paying for illegal immigrants to have sex change operations. Why do you think they're doing this? They all think the Earth's more overpopulated, so they're trying to turn everybody gender fluid, gender queer, sterilizing them with hormones at a young age. It's Orwellian, and it's happening right now. I can't see it for you. I'm trying to open your eyes. The only way we can stop this, it's not just Trump. It ain't gonna take Trump. What if Trump gets in office and doesn't have supermajority in Congress? Since he can't get done what he wants to do, most of it, he can do some executive orders. That'll just get overturned on the next 4 years. He's got to get Congress. He's got to get the House and Senate. Thank God we got some judges in there, but half of them are waffling too. So it's very dark times that we're in, but that's why we're here. We're not going to be totally doom and gloom, but we're going to let you know the things that are on the horizon. We're going to let you know the truth so that you can stand up and be prepared for yourself and your family and take this country back.